Welcome back to another episode of Design Time. I'm here at Tri-City Furniture in Auburn with our good friend Kathy. Before we get started, make sure to scan the QR code on your screen to download more information on today's topic. We're talking about bedroom furniture and what is inside your furniture, something you probably don't think too much about. Kathy, when it comes to American-made products versus imports, what is the difference between value and durability?
Well, the thing that people don't always understand is they're buying it for storage, but they're also making an investment. And depending on how much you use it, we have American made, which will be solid wood, but there are components within it that vary a lot as well.
So let's talk about the materials that might be used in American-made pieces.
Well, they're going to use really nice, solid woods, and they can be all different finishes, different colors. We have maple, we have oak and cherry, a lot of variables in the woods. And so you're going to see that in a unit like this as compared to this one. It's hard for me to come up with things that aren't American made because of what I usually sell, but we had this one for something special, and it's made out of pine. So it finishes okay, but it is not like a hardwood that you're going to keep for decades.
And let's talk a little more about the imported products.
Well, in these, we're going to see that in an imported product that the drawer is going to be a little smaller.
Okay.
They put the sides down a little bit less. They don't finish the wood in the inside. And then the way that they're put together, many imports today are actually a particle board and then they're vinyl wrapped. And so they're stapled together. They just don't have the longevity that you will get in comparison to American made.
And we typically buy our bedroom furniture, we're looking at storage, right? Your space.
So that is probably one of the biggest factors. So you can see that when you pull this out, it's a full extension. The drawer is as tall on the sides as they can possibly get to open and close. And they finish that so it doesn't snag your clothes as compared to, now also keep in mind that American is going to be a deeper product. This is probably 2 inches shallower, but then the drawer only opens a portion. And that's because of the structural strength. That drawer will stand up, has glides on both sides and keeps it very stable. Here we have one glide in the middle, not as heavy. And so we can't get the stuff out as much. The sides are a little lower. So if you're stuffing it, that drawer is going to give you a lot better service.
Definitely a lot more space here.
Yes.
And these drawers open and close a little bit easier. Why is that?
Well, the glides on those are heavier duty, and so it allows for them to roll much easier. This, we can almost even hear it moving because it doesn't have all that stability. And it's just in the drawer function. This is hooked into the front. That's a dovetail. So the finger joints in the edges of that drawer just make it an amazing, stable piece.
Interesting. Any other differences in drawers we should know about?
Well, in drawers, you want the stability. You want all the space. Why they cut down in these is so that they can save linear feet. They can actually, if they make the drawer shorter and shallower, they can save a couple boards for the cost. And remember, all these variables have to do with the cost. And so we want to make sure if we're buying it for storage, we get the most storage that we can get.
And that really cuts down on how much each drawer can hold, like you mentioned.
Yes, definitely. And because now adults maybe don't stuff it, but kids are notorious for stuffing it in and
they're putting their clothes.
And so I always, I watch some of the old time shows and I watch the kids and they just stuff it and push. That's really hard on chests of drawers. And so we want to make sure that is holding up. Where the imports are more about the looks. They're all about the looks, not so much the storage.
Well, remind us again one more time why an imported product like this might cut down on the storage space.
Well, just for the size of the drawer itself, and then how much width. This is a smaller overall piece, and you may not think about it unless you saw them side by side. So yes, it cuts down on the cost, but it's because you're getting less storage. This does not have the dust proofing between drawers. So if you drop something from this drawer, it's going to drop into the other drawer. There's a lot of little things that they can leave out of these chests and make the cost lower. And with the cost of transportation, of shipping, and tariffs today,
Right.
you're paying a lot more for an imported piece and really not getting the details to what makes it a good piece.
Well, Kathy, thank you for showing us the difference. Very important when you are making those decisions. This has been another episode of Design Time. Stay tuned for another. We're going to continue our conversation on bedroom furniture next week, so stay tuned for that. You can find more episodes on our website at WNEM.com.